My Mom Lives in a UFO. Production by Lynn Dave. When we were young, our mom was our world. Her laugh, the way she'd take us exploring, even in our own backyard. How she'd somehow always have an answer for the questions we threw at her. But we grew up, moved out, scattered. After our stepfather passed, Mom's vibrant energy waned. She felt, perhaps for the first time in her life, that she didn't quite fit anywhere. It was around then that she started talking about the aliens. She'd been found, she said, by a crew of them one night under a bright moon. They'd landed a sleek flying saucer on her hill and without much fanfare simply invited her inside. They showed her how small the world was from above, how many lives were out there beyond our sky, and when they left her, they left the saucer behind, perched on the hill, overlooking town like a glistening shell. We didn't visit often enough to notice it at first, so the story alone, "Oh, come on, Mom," we'd tease, was easy to dismiss as a distraction, maybe even as her own odd way of coping. But eventually we saw it. A massive gleaming thing that looked like it had emerged from some sci-fi fantasy. We couldn't deny it was there. As for how it got there, well, that was a puzzle we weren't quite interested enough to solve. We made jokes, asked her if she'd been binge-watching the X-Files, and brushed her off, and honestly, she seemed happy in that weird pod. But the world, our world, doesn't take kindly to people living in flying saucers. When we decided she'd be better off with us, she protested fiercely. "They're coming back," she'd say, face fierce and searching. And as we packed her things, she asked us to look up into the sky to see if we could glimpse the faint outline of her friends hovering nearby. We couldn't, or maybe we wouldn't. She was safe with us, we told ourselves, even if her heart was somewhere else. The months that followed were tough. She'd smile at family dinners and tell stories, but her gaze would drift toward the horizon. She'd watch every streak in the night sky with silent, wide eyes. "They're coming for me," she'd say in hushed tones, sometimes looking almost through us. We worried, debated, wondered if we'd done the right thing, and when she kept calling out, seeking her alien friends, the decision seemed obvious to everyone else but her. So we took her to a place that would, we hoped, keep her safe. The last time we saw her, she seemed calm, almost as if she were waiting. She held my hand as we said goodbye, her grip strong despite her age. "Just look up once in a while," she said softly, her gaze still fixed on some distant point beyond us. "You might see them, too." We brushed it off, but her words lingered, a strange melody that followed us home. Weeks later, the call came. She was gone. The nursing staff found a note. "I'm going back to my flying saucer. Don't worry. I'm happy." We searched, sent notices to the police, checked every place we could think of. Nothing. It was like she'd vanished. Then came the news. An amateur astronomer caught sight of a mysterious saucer hovering over that old hill, the place she used to call home. Its lights flashed, dazzling and unearthly, casting a pale glow that shimmered over the mountain. We watched, huddled around a screen, captivated, shaken. Had it really happened? Had she left with them, the ones she'd said were watching over her? We wanted to believe, yet it felt too strange, too surreal. Still, that shimmering saucer haunted us, even after it disappeared into the heavens. Now, when the night is quiet, and a silvery light arcs across the sky, I pause, I think of her, of the way we left her story untold, her words unheard. I wonder if she's out there, still watching, still exploring. I wonder if she's looking down on us from some faraway place, waiting, watching, smiling at our small world from her flying saucer. The end.